Okay, so I've been thinking about this and my brain is just totally fried from rewatching that scene. I stayed up way too late last night just thinking about Willow. Like Willow. I keep playing the scene in my head over and over, trying to figure out if we all missed the signs or if this was just a sudden massive pivot. I am literally typing this in the dark at like 2 a.m. because I cannot stop analyzing what just happened in her new office. The whole thing is just weird. It's weird. Like really weird. I'm trying to be smart about how I interpret the writer's intentions here, but I'm constantly second-guessing myself. Here's what's bugging me. Sidwell breaking into her new office. Okay, wait, let me back up. First of all, the new office probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the lighting in there is so much colder than the sets they usually put Willow in. It's all sharp angles and shadows, which is visually telling us she's in a darker place now, right? I mean, not exactly, but kind of. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh, right, Sidwell. Sidwell just waltzing in there like he owns the place. He breaks in fully confident, ready to blackmail her. And his leverage is insane. He has the evidence that she assassinated Drew. Actually, no, first I should mention the Drew thing, because I'm still reeling from that. Willow assassinated Drew. Sweet former school teacher nurse Willow actually assassinated Drew. I think back to all her scenes trying to find the exact moment her soul just snapped. Was it premeditated? I mean, it had to be right, but then again, that doesn't explain why she left enough evidence for a guy like Sidwell to find it. If you're gonna pull off a high-level assassination of a major figure like Drew, wouldn't you cover your tracks better? Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Sidwell is just that good at digging up dirt. He comes into her office completely smug, basically holding her entire life, her freedom, her future in his hands. And he's doing it all to force her to follow Ezra Boyle's directives. Ezra Boyle. Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. What if Ezra is actually terrified of Willow? No, wait, that makes no sense because he sent Sidwell to strong-arm her. Ezra wants to use her. He's pulling the strings using Sidwell as his attack dog to keep Willow in line. Sidwell lays it all out, threatening to expose the proof of the assassination if she doesn't play ball with Ezra's plans. And you can see Sidwell enjoying it. He is relishing this power trip. He thinks he is back to frighten little mouse into a corner. And then... the breakdown. Oh my god, the breakdown! This is the part I've rewatched like 10 times. Willow gets backed into this corner by Sidwell. The threats are hanging in the air. The reality of going to prison for murdering Drew is right in her face, and she just crumbles. She totally breaks down and starts sobbing. Her shoulders shake, her face crumples. It is vintage Willow. It's the exact same crying face she has used for years whenever she's overwhelmed. It reminds me of, I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there back in the Dawn of Day storyline, when she used to just collapse into tears when things got too heavy. She looks so small and broken. But wait, that's the genius of it. She weaponized her own history. She knows exactly how people see her. She knows Sidwell sees her as this fragile, emotional wreck who just got in way over her head by killing Drew. She used her own soap opera trope against him. Sidwell totally buys it. He lowers his guard because in his arrogant mind he has won. The mouse is crying. The threat is neutralized. He probably thought he was going to have to do more convincing, but here she is weeping, completely submissive. I mean, I kinda suspected she was faking it, but I wasn't sure until she reached under the drawer. This is where my brain just explodes. She didn't just reach for a letter opener or a heavy paperweight. She reached for a hidden, preloaded syringe. Under the drawer. Do you realize what that means? It means she anticipated a threat. She specifically taped or mounted a syringe filled with a muscle-paralyzing toxin under her desk in her new office. That is some serious supervillain-level paranoia and preparation. It completely recontextualizes who she is now. She isn't a victim who lashed out and killed Drew by accident or in a moment of passion. She is a cold, calculated operative who keeps a chemical weapon hidden at her workspace just in case someone like Sidwell drops by. Actually, let's talk about the toxin. A muscle-paralyzing agent. This is where her nursing background comes back in the most twisted way possible. She knows exactly what compounds to use. Is it something like succinylcholine or some proprietary synthetic thing? She would know how to get her hands on it. How to dose it perfectly so it incapacitates without immediately killing, which makes it infinitely more terrifying. She fakes the tears, waits for Sidwell to relax, drops the act instantly like her face just went completely deadpan. It was chilling, and she pulls the syringe and jams it straight into his neck. Just straight into his neck. No hesitation. The speed of the strike was insane. My brain is moving faster than my typing right now, but just imagine the sheer violence of that moment. The contrast between the weeping helpless girl and the lethal strike. Bam. Right into the carotid or the jugular or whatever muscle mass she aimed for. And the effect is immediate. Sidwell goes down. He collapses entirely. But here is the absolute most horrifying detail of the entire episode. The thing that is going to keep me awake for days. He is completely paralyzed, but his consciousness is fully intact. He is awake. He can see, he can hear, he can process everything, but he cannot move a single muscle in his body. He can't speak. He can't blink. He is trapped inside his own meat suit. Okay, I know I just said she was a cold operative, but this borders on psychopathic. To intentionally choose a paralyzing agent instead of a lethal poison, that means she wants him to know what's happening. She wants him to feel the power shift. He walked in there thinking he was a god because he had Ezra Boyle's backing and the Drew evidence, and within 5 minutes, he is a literal floor rug, completely at her mercy, screaming internally. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. I am trying to process the psychological leap it takes to do that to a person. And what does she do next? Does she panic? Does she hyperventilate now that the adrenaline's wearing off? No. She literally steps over him. She coldly, calmly steps right over his paralyzed body on the floor like he is a piece of misplaced furniture. She doesn't even look down at him with anger or triumph. It's just indifference. It's absolute chilling apathy. What was I saying? Oh, right, the aftermath. So she steps over Sidwell. He's lying there, fully aware, eyes probably locked onto the ceiling or staring at her shoes, realizing he has made the worst miscalculation of his life. And Willow's brain immediately shifts to logistics. You can see the gears turning in her head. She has a fully grown paralyzed man in her office. She has to hide the body. But then again, that doesn't explain why she did it right then. Like, what is her endgame here? You can't just leave a paralyzed guy in a closet forever. Eventually the drug wears off, right? Or does it? Maybe it's a permanent neurotoxin, I don't know. I am not a doctor. But if it wears off, he's going to tell Ezra Boyle. If it doesn't wear off, he starves to death. Or she has to physically murder him, which means disposing of a corpse. This office doesn't look like it has a secret trapdoor. She has to figure out how to maneuver a deadweight human being without anyone noticing. And then just to make my anxiety absolutely peak the footsteps, the door. Kai is about to walk in. Wait, let me talk about Kai for a second. Kai is approaching the office. Willow is standing over a paralyzed, wide-awake Sidwell. How in the world is she going to explain this? Is she going to pretend Sidwell had a stroke? No, Kai would know better. Or at least he'd call an ambulance, which would mean doctors at General Hospital running talk screens, which would lead right back to the paralyzing agent, which leads right back to her. So she can't let Kai see the body. But how much time does she have? 5 seconds? 10? Is she going to drag Sidwell behind the desk? A grown man is incredibly heavy, especially when it's just dead weight. Muscle paralysis means zero assistance, obviously. She's strong, but is she that strong? Maybe she throws a rug over him? No, that's stupid. This isn't a cartoon. She has to block the door, or intercept Kai before he opens it. I am literally chewing my fingernails off thinking about the timing of this. Kai's footsteps are getting louder. Sidwell is on the floor perfectly conscious, probably praying that Kai walks in and finds him. Can Sidwell make noise? No muscle paralysis means the vocal cords are paralyzed too. He can't even moan. He can just watch as Willow desperately tries to pivot from cold-blooded assassin back to normal office worker in the span of 3 seconds. I mean, think about the layers of deception here. First, she deceives the world by assassinating Drew. Then she deceives Sidwell by faking the crying breakdown. Now she has to deceive Kai by pretending her office isn't currently a crime scene containing a fully conscious but immobilized blackmailing. En faucissant by Ezra Boyle. It's too much. It's a house of cards, and it feels like it's going to collapse, but at the same time, Willow has evolved into this terrifyingly competent chess player. Actually, let's go back to Ezra Boyle for a second, because I feel like I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. Why does Ezra care so much about controlling her? If she killed Drew, she's a liability. Unless Ezra wanted Drew dead? Wait, did Ezra orchestrate the assassination and now he's using Sidwell to keep Willow on a leash? Or did Willow go rogue? Kill Drew for her own reasons and Ezra just capitalized on it by finding the evidence. I think it's the latter. It makes Willow more autonomous. She isn't just a hitman, she's an independent player who got caught, and now she's violently rejecting the leash. Stabbing Sidwell is her way of sending a message to Ezra. But does Ezra know she's this dangerous? Sidwell clearly didn't. Sidwell thought he was dealing with the old Willow. The sweet, weeping Willow. That mistake cost him his mobility. I keep picturing the shot of the syringe under the drawer. That is the detail I can't let go of. It wasn't in her purse. It wasn't in a locked safe. It was taped under the drawer for immediate rapid draw access. She has been sitting at that desk having normal conversations with people, knowing that literally inches from her fingertips is a chemical weapon. It's so dark. It's like something out of a psychological thriller, not a soap. And the way she stepped over him, I have to mention that again. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, I'm just trying to figure something out. It's weird. Like really weird. The disconnect in her empathy is staggering. When you paralyze someone and they drop in front of you, the normal human reaction, even if you're defending yourself, is adrenaline panic. Maybe a little shock at your own actions. Willow showed nothing. It was pure utilitarian logic. Threat neutralized. Obstacle on floor. Step over obstacle. Conceal obstacle. It makes me wonder who else she has completely fooled. If she can cry on command and then stick a needle in a man's jugular without her heart rate spiking, who is the real Willow? Has this been inside her the whole time? Buried under the trauma of her past? Or is this a completely new persona birthed from whatever drove her to kill Drew?